What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's TopCap Gaming, and welcome to the part 2 of a TF2 commentary in which we are covering possible new weapons that could be implemented into the Spy vs. Engineer update. Now, if you haven't checked out part 1 of our weapon ideas, I'll leave a link right here and a link down in the description below for you to be able to check that out. Now, in part 1, we covered possible weapon ideas that could be implemented for the Spy. And in the part 1, I kind of explained how I'm presenting my ideas, so it's best if you checked out part 1. But for those of you who are continuing to part 2, we are now covering possible weapon ideas that could be implemented for the Engineer. So, let's get started. Now that we're done with the Spy, let's move on to the Engineer. And for the Engineer's primary, this weapon idea is called the Southern Slugger. The Southern Slugger is a 2-barrel shotgun that deals more damage based on the less metal you have. So, for the positives, with less than 40 metal, it deals 25% more damage and 34% faster reload speed. However, the negatives are, with more than 140 metal, it deals 25% less damage, it has 66% lower clip size, and you must reload the entire clip before firing the gun again. So, the Southern Slugger adds a bit of protection for engineers that need to run out and grab more metal for their buildings. In addition, it also rewards engineers for playing a more aggressive playstyle. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh, this is going to pair up too well with the Gunslinger. It's not like we have enough of those to deal with already. I'm thinking more along the lines of the aggressive playstyle with level 3 sentries. Now, hear me out on this. You have to invest a lot of metal into keeping your level 3 sentry alive, especially when it's being very aggressive and in the fray where there's going to be a lot of returning fire on that sentry, in which case you're going to be spending a lot of metal keeping it alive and keeping its ammunition refilled. So with that, you'll get a nice damage bonus in order to be able to shoot away any other spies or any other classes that are coming to destroy that sentry, along with keeping yourself alive when you need to run and grab more metal. For the Engineer's secondary, we have the Corraller. The Corraller is a pistol that slows down targets that it hits. So, for the positives, on hit, slow down enemy players. For the negatives, while firing, you receive a minus 30% slower move speed and you deal 25% less damage. So the main idea of the Corraller is to be able to slow down enemies that are getting close or are trying to run away from your sentry guns. Say a spy is trying to run up to your sentry gun in order to sap it. All you have to do is switch to the Corraller, fire off a few shots in order to slow down that spy, giving you enough time to cut right in between him and the sentry and prevent him from sapping your stuff. Whereas if there's a demo man trying to blow up your sentry gun and realizes that he's taking too much damage and tries to run away, a few shots with a Corraller means that the demo man receives less movement speed and will most likely get finished off by your sentry. Now, this wrench idea that I'm about to present was actually done by a YouTuber called UncleDane. And the reason why I'm presenting this idea is I was unable to find any other idea that could beat his. So without further ado, this entry melee weapon idea is called the Bullhorn. The Bullhorn is a wrench that gives a buff to engineers carrying and deploying buildings. So for the statistics, wear resists 50% of all damage types while hauling, and buildings take 25% less damage during redeployment. However, the negatives are wear moves 60% slower while hauling, there's a 20% longer weapon switch speed, and it blocks healing from medics while active. So I'm just going to give a quick explanation as to why this is such a good weapon idea, but if you want to hear more information about it, I highly encourage you to go check out UncleDane's channel. More importantly, the video in which he explains this, which I'll leave in the description or the annotation box right here.
I built that.
But nevertheless, the quick explanation as to why this is such a good weapon is it encourages engineers to play more an offensive style without having to rely on the gunslinger in order to do so. The Bullhorn gives you that extra buff in order to be able to move your level 3 sentries to more aggressive places while taking less damage and making sure that your sentry gun has more health when you redeploy it. However, the negatives for this make sure that you don't become an enormous tank while hauling your buildings to new locations. Now, the last weapon slot to cover for the engineer is his PDA slot, and this weapon idea was pretty tricky to try figuring out, but nevertheless, I think I got one that works. So without further ado, this weapon idea is called the Dropper PDA. The Dropper PDA is a construction PDA that replaces the regular dispenser with a quick building mini dispenser. And instead of administering health, ammo, or metal while deployed, it begins to quickly charge a drop meter. So for the weapon statistics, upon destroying this dispenser with a destruction PDA, a health and ammo pack is dropped based on the charge of the drop meter. In addition, it receives a faster construction time. However, the negative of this is the dispenser does not supply health, metal, or ammo while active. Now, the actual statistics behind this mini dispenser, it's non-upgradable, costs only 70 metal, and has a health pool of 95. And the time to fill the meter from when it's fully constructed to the maximum charge of that meter is 12 seconds. Now, the idea behind the mini dispenser is to replace the long-term investment of a regular dispenser with a quicker profit flip, and this in a way encourages a more aggressive level 3 sentry playstyle. The initial concept behind the mini dispenser is to replace the long-term investment of a regular dispenser with a quicker metal profit flip, and this in a way encourages a more aggressive level 3 sentry playstyle. Let me put two scenarios down to better help explain this. So, you need to build a level 3 sentry before the round starts. So, your normal approach would to either put down a dispenser, run off, find some metal, then go back to your spot, put down that sentry, and start building. And in that meantime, hopefully that dispenser would have been fully constructed and start giving you metal. Or you plop down your dispenser, start wailing your hammer on that dispenser, wait till it drops that last little bit of metal that you need, and then plop down your level 1 sentry. Either way that you approach this, both are very slow methods to actually building that level 3 sentry. However, in the second scenario I'm about to give you, it will be much faster to build that level 3 sentry. So, you're at the beginning of the round, you need that level 3 sentry. All you do is build the mini dispenser first, which only costs 70 metal, and then start building your level 1 sentry. In the time it takes for that level 1 sentry to be constructed, your mini dispenser will already be constructed as well. Now, here's where the magic of the mini dispenser works. It takes 12 seconds in order for it to reach a maximum charge, and when it does, all you need to do is destroy it with your destruction PDA, and voila, it will drop a full health pack and a full metal pack for you to be able to use, in which all you've done is used less than 30 seconds to quickly turn 70 metal into 200. In which you can then use another 70 metal to quickly plop down another mini dispenser and start using the rest of that 130 metal to start upgrading your level 1 sentry. All you have to do is keep repeating this process until your level 3 sentry is fully constructed. Now, with all of this, you've managed to save a lot of time building that level 3 sentry. And if you're trying to play a really aggressive playstyle, this can be very beneficial for putting up level 3 or level 2 sentries in a short amount of time without having to rely on too many dropped weapons or ammo packs. However, the trade-off to using the mini dispenser is very, very huge. You sacrifice your main way to help out your team, in which you be able to put down a dispenser and give health, metal, and ammo to the rest of your teammates. You're basically sacrificing your benefit to the team in terms of resupplying them with resupplying your own needs. In addition, with the small health of the mini dispenser, it's easy for a lot of classes to one-shot it. And if you don't destroy it with your own destruction PDA, you lose out on the opportunity in order to be able to quickly flip that profit of 70 metal into 200. So it's a very small margin, but it's a very high risk, high reward. The main concept behind these weapon ideas for the engineer is to increase his more aggressive playstyle with his regular sentry gun. The Southern Slugger gives a nice damage bonus and reload speed with the less metal you have, so if your level 3 sentry is in an aggressive spot, that means you're going to be putting a lot of metal into it, making the Southern Slugger a great tool to help defend you or your sentry gun from attackers while you're running off to grabbing metal. In addition, we have the Bullhorn, which gives you a nice resistance boost while hauling. In addition, you also take 25% less damage for your buildings while they're being constructed, meaning that you'll be able to move your sentry gun and redeploy it too without too much of a hassle. On top of that, we have the quick Dropper PDA, which gives you a nice return of metal for the cost of 70. You get 200 metal over the course of less than 30 seconds, in which you sacrifice your regular dispenser. In most cases would be a great tool to help your teammates recover, now becomes a greater tool for you to help quickly build up your sentry gun. And sometimes your sentry gun is more reliable than the dispenser. In addition, we have the Corraller, which makes a great tool for slowing down opponents that are trying to get close to your sentry to destroy it, or are trying to run away from the havoc that you're wreaking upon them with your level 3 sentry. Now, I know some of these can be paired up very well with the Gunslinger, mainly the Southern Slugger and the Corraller, because of their ability to deal out more damage with the less metal you have, and the Gunslinger goes through quite a bit of metal if you're under pressure. In addition to slowing down your opponents, in which if they're trying to run away from your mini sentry, they're going to have a much harder time. But nevertheless, what I'm trying to establish is more an aggressive playstyle with the level 3 sentry, so even though that these may be concerns, they can most likely be fixed after they would be released by Valve to make sure that they're not too overpowered with the mini sentry, but still reliable for people that want to play a more aggressive NG with a regular sentry gun. Anyway guys, now that I'm all said and done, what do you think? Do you like these weapon ideas that could be in the Spy vs. Engineer update? If so, leave a like. If you think you got a better design for a weapon that could be in the Spy vs. Engineer update, write them down in the comments below. If you like UncleDane's idea for an engineer wrench, please follow his video in the description down below, or in the annotation I'll provide right here.
Much obliged.
If you like some of the ideas that have been shown from the TF2 workshop, please check them out. Also will be in the description. If you want to see more of what I do, please follow the channel and also leave a like. That will encourage me to make more videos like this and try to experiment with a few other things. Anyway guys, my name is TopCap Gaming. I will see you another time. Later.